Hey, hey, hey. Tav for another Out of This World story from our space. There's a reason they tell you to leave the past in the past. Don't give the past power to destroy your future. Our OP today on our space seemed to have missed that memo. Wife cheated and left me for a friend 4 years ago. Now wants me back because he dumped her. I, 59 male, was cheated on and divorced by my ex-wife, Lucy, 49 female, 4 years ago. We were married for 12 years with 2 children who are now 14 and 11. Lucy was my second wife. My first marriage was with my school darling, whom I lost in an accident. Yeah, my love life has been difficult. There were not once, but multiple dark patches in my life. But entering my 60s with so much gratitude and grace, I was able to sail through all this. I run a modest real estate business. After the demise of my first wife, I was devastated. I had no kids with her, meaning I had nothing to hold on to in life. I was in my early 40s then, no clue what to do with my life. I went heavy into drinking and stuff like that. Then I met Lucy at a bar. She was nursing a heartbreak with her college buddy, and we clicked. I won't lie, I was pathetic. I needed a shoulder to cry on and got emotionally attached to Lucy in a very short period. We dated for a year and she proposed to me for a marriage. I don't remember if I was ready for marriage, but Lucy wanted a commitment, so I gave in without thinking too much. She was in her early 30s and wanted to settle down. In fact, she broke up with her friend because of commitment issues. They were friends with benefits. She had feelings for him, but he didn't reciprocate that. After years of physical relationship, she gave up and moved on from him. So when she made her stand clear to me that she wanted a marriage or nothing, I couldn't take this chance of losing her and got married at a closed ceremony. I don't know if I was a loser, but at that point in time, it made sense. To be honest, I don't regret it. I had a good life with Lucy. We traveled a lot, fewer children, and even after having children. Not to mention the 2 beautiful children we had together. We had a stable marriage with 2 kids for 12 years, until her friend, a fair partner, made an entry into our life. Lucy bounced back to him and divorced me. I kept custody of the kids and have been living my life around my children. Now, the reason I write this. Lucy popped up unexpectedly last week, and now she wants to be a part of her life. When I saw her standing at the door for a moment, I didn't recognize her. She looked so pale and miserable, puffy red eyes as if she hadn't slept for a while. She broke down on seeing me. I let her inside. Actually, I thought something terrible happened to a fair partner. She hugged me and cried. When I asked her if everything was okay, she kept saying sorry and apologizing for leaving me. The kids were on their summer camp and I was alone at home. When she calmed down, she told me the fair partner had abandoned her and went back to his native country in the south of Europe. He just left a note which said, "I'm sorry, I can't marry you. I have a wife and children at home." That was heartbreaking. He had been living a dual life, exploiting Lucy's feelings. He kept her hanging for 4 years, didn't marry her, and instead abandoned her. I don't know if I should feel happy or sad about the whole thing. Karma did play a part, but I didn't say any of those hurtful things. I was feeling sorry for her, but there's nothing I could do for her. She said I was her only hope and had come back to me because she knew I would forgive her and take her back. I said I had moved on from her. Though I don't hold any harsh feelings for her, I cannot let her walk over me again. I had forgiven her for cheating on me once, but she did that again. She was so madly in love with the bear partner that she didn't think twice about leaving her children for him. She remained loyal to me for 12 years only because a fair partner was out of the country. She came back now only because a fair partner left her. I told her I empathized with her, but could not trust her again. She started sobbing again and begged for forgiveness. I told her that I had forgiven her, and the best I can do is let her have joint custody of her children, if the kids are okay with that. She was not ready to leave at all. I had to be rude in order to get rid of her. I said I had to step out, and she needed to leave. Though she left, I'm feeling very disturbed with her coming back in her life. I've had enough drama in my life, and now all I want is a peaceful life. Honestly, even letting her have joint custody of your kids is a stretch. She very obviously doesn't care about them. So why would you allow her back into their lives if she'll just take off again at the very sight of this affair partner of hers? Is it really worth it? Update 1. Hello everyone. Thanks for all the kind words. Appreciate all the comments, good, bad, and everything. This update is regarding the background context of my current situation. So if you're uninterested, you can skip it. A few of you asked for the details about my past with Lucy and how we ended up here. So here we are. As I mentioned, our married life was smooth for 12 years. Our problem started when Lucy's long-lost love came back to her life. He was the same guy with whom she had broken up due to commitment issues. He went back to his country after their breakup, and now he is back in the city, and Lucy couldn't stop seeing him. Initially, I didn't mind when he occasionally visited us. She said she had moved on. I believed it. We'd been married for 12 years with 2 kids, and in those years, she had been a good wife and a great mother. She had never shown any red flags. I didn't suspect her unnecessarily. One day, she came home and locked herself in the room. The children and I knocked on the door several times for dinner, but she didn't answer. I called on her phone to check if everything was fine. She texted that she was fine, but needed some more time alone. I didn't bother her and slept in the living room. The next day, she tried to be normal, but it was evident that she was not. I asked her what was wrong. She said she had a fight with her sister, but nothing serious, and she would deal with it. She didn't want to share the details, and I didn't insist. I didn't try to find the details from her sister because I don't like meddling in their private matters. She knew that trait about me, and maybe that's why she lied and made this stuff about her sister. I took her words to be true, but as the days passed, I realized it was not about her sister. It's about her friend. Until then, she was also chirpy, talking about her friend and making plans to invite him over for dinner and drinks. But all of a sudden, after that evening, she stopped talking about him. I tried asking about him, but she ignored any conversation around him. Also, Lucy had many fights with her sister before, but she was never this disturbed and upset. So, yes, it was my assumption, but it turned out to be true. Instead of spying on her and finding evidence, I confronted her if she had cheated on me with her friend, and gladly she accepted instead of gaslighting the situation and denying it. She confessed that when a Fairbarter returned back, she couldn't stop herself from meeting him. It started with friendly meets at public places, then catching up at his place, which reignited the stuff between them. I asked her if she still loved him. She said no. She pleaded with me for a chance. She said she got carried away at that moment. It had happened once, and she said she was guilty of her actions, and it was killing her from inside. She had stopped seeing a Fairbarter after that evening. She said she loved him when they were together, but he never respected her feelings and used her physically. She broke down and made promises of never betraying me again. Now, whatever you call me, I fell for her. I was deeply hurt, but I wanted to save my marriage for the sake of my children. The younger one was barely 4 then. Divorce meant separation from my children, and I couldn't fathom that. You could say I was weak for not taking that severe step. I forgave her and gave another chance to my marriage. I made it clear that if she ever betrays me, that it would be it. And cheating doesn't only mean sexual relationships. I won't forgive her, even if it's just emotional. She agreed. We rebuilt our relationship and went on date nights and vacations. It went smooth for a few months until I got suspicious again. This time I didn't let the red flags slide. She had cheated on me once, and this time I was super cautious. It was like 4 years ago, so I don't remember the details accurately. But overall, it was the stuff. She remained absent-minded, didn't give enough time to me and the children. Used to be in a bad mood at home, but smiled while texting and giggled while talking to others on the phone. She was always hooked onto her phone. And she avoided me at bed. She was never in a mood. This time again, I confronted her head straight, but she didn't admit anything was wrong. She indeed played defensive and tried to gaslight the situation by making it about me. She blamed me for not trusting her. She played the victim that I was constantly keeping an eye on her because she had cheated once and all that. I tried to defend myself, but realized it was futile. So I did what everyone does in this situation. Look for evidence to expose her. I stooped into her phone and found she had not changed the password, which meant there was nothing in the phone. There were chats with a Fairbarter, but it was normal conversation from months ago, of the time that she had first cheated on me. I couldn't find anything on her phone. I was thinking of other means to find the cheating, but before that, she confessed. She got to know that I checked her phone. She said that if I was doubting her, I would eventually uncover the truth, so better she comes clean. She said she tried to distance herself out of the first confrontation, but he begged her to return. She avoided him, fearing trouble in a relationship. But this time, he assured he loved her and would marry her, but needed some time to sort out some stuff, so they kept it under the carpet. She said she was guilty of cheating on me, but couldn't leave the opportunity to be with the Fairbarter. I understood she never stopped loving him, but only suppressed her feelings because of his commitment issues. Now that a Fairbarter was serious about her, she couldn't resist. She asked for a divorce, and I wanted custody of my children. I felt she also wanted to get rid of the children because she immediately agreed and requested me to let her meet them weekly. I nodded, but she had to break that news to the children, and she could use any reason she wanted, but it shouldn't show me in any negative light. She told the children that we were divorcing because we fell out of love. It was difficult for them. We went through a lot of tears and pleadings from the children to reconcile. Their cries did make me bitter towards her, but eventually I realized that even if she changed her mind about divorce, I couldn't forgive her this time. So divorce was the best option for us. I promised the children I would prove to be a good father. They didn't doubt that. I've always been an involved parent, not like the one who just shows up. It was not difficult for me to take up my full-time role as a single parent, yet children missed their mom. Our divorce was settled amicably. I was hurt, but somehow didn't carry a grudge. Call me a coward, or maybe I acted mature because of my age, but I let her go. The next few months were terribly difficult, especially with the younger one. I took them on multiple vacations, mini trips, picnics, and whatnot. Did everything to keep them happy. Lucy came to meet them once a week, but then she settled with a fair partner in Alabama. By then, the children had moved on, and so did I. In the last 4 years, the children have grown to be kind, resilient, and emotionally strong. Lucy used to call them after moving out from here. Initially, the children used to hang up on her and despise her, but with time, it became forgiving and understanding. They're now cordial with her. As for the current situation, when my children came back from their summer camp and got to know about their mother, they were not so sorry for her. They were like, she chose that for herself. I tell you, these young generation kids, they freaked out when I told them about my proposal joint custody. They refused to see her or live with her. I calmed them down that nothing would be finalized until they approved. It's ultimately their decision. They don't want to go away from me, and they say Mom would abandon us again if that guy pops back. I know they're right. I really don't know what charm a fair partner has that she keeps bouncing back to him even after several betrayals. If she was capable of cheating the first time without showing any signs of red flags, then she was more than capable of doing it again. She was obviously hung up on this guy for quite some time, and even though he was out of sight, he most definitely wasn't out of mind. After finding out your partner is cheating, it seems only fair to be able to ask questions and seem suspicious. But cheater who gets defensive about random questions is only defensive because they have something to hide. Update 2. I realize that I really have to be thick-skinned to deal with Lucy. For people who commented that I'm a simp, I don't know what that means, but yeah, I'm definitely an old-school guy. Quite literally, though. Remember, I'm 59. We don't hunt down women and scorch them down if they stop loving us. We let her go. However, this doesn't mean we let them walk all over us. We draw that line too. Bad feelings for negative comments, but yeah, just wanted to clarify things on behalf of all the old school men. So, Lucy came back again. This time the kids were at home. They flipped out on seeing her. I asked them to be well behaved. They spoke to her for some time and then pushed off to their room. Lucy asked me if I had given a thought about reconciliation. I said reconciliation is not on the table for sure, and also the children don't want to stay with her, but I'm okay if she could convince them. I don't want to speculate, but I feel she doesn't want children either. She said she cannot afford to have the children with her. She had been living on an old friend's couch who could ask her to move out at any moment. I knew her finances were poor, but I had no idea that it would be so severe. Before marrying me, she used to work as a receptionist. She left the job shortly after her marriage. I tried my best to provide her with a good life. During her divorce, she was compensated fairly. I asked her what she did with that money. She gave it to a fair partner to help him with his business. Not only that, she had to take up 2 jobs to run their kitchen in Alabama. Despite all this, a fair partner left her. He took all their savings while leaving. Only the money she had kept away from a fair partner's knowledge was there with her. She used that to travel back and had been surviving on that. I offered to lend her some money to rent a condo and get her life together, but she denied it. She said she always sought love and not money, and if money was that important, she wouldn't have left a stable life with me for a broke fair partner. She wanted to live with us like a family, but that was not possible. Sometimes, I do feel bad for her, but we don't have space for her in our lives. I gave her a check and asked her to rent a house and get a job and also seek therapy. She badly needs one. I have requested my kids to be kind to their mom after all she birthed them. They are gentle to her now, but they had refused to have her back in their lives. Sometimes, Lucy texts me asking if she deserved all the hate she'd been getting. I don't know what to say, but she had definitely wronged me and the children. You absolutely went above and beyond what she deserved. I think by giving her a check, you are in a way letting her walk all over you. She dug her grave. Now she can lie in it or dig herself out by herself. Update 3. Thanks all for the kind words in my last posts. I didn't update it for so long because nothing much has happened. It was the same cycle of Lucy showing up randomly, breaking down and asking me to get back together. But in the last 7 months, my family dynamics have gotten complicated. I think around 1.5 to 2 years back, before Lucy came back into our life, I met this woman. Call her Jay. She's 62. She runs a flower boutique and is as active as a 30-year-old. We were just friends for a while, but after a year of knowing her, I liked her company. I usually spend my evenings and weekends at her shop, helping her with the errands. I love the way she's been handling things independently. She lost her husband quite early, raised 3 kids as a single mom, and now when the children have moved out, she's been selling flowers to sustain her livelihood. I feel so lively around her. I didn't mention Jay on this thread or to Lucy because then it would be like I'm not reconciling with Lucy because of Jay. It's something like that. I don't intend to marry Jay or something. We are just 2 oldies in our 60s, trying to enjoy the last leg of our lives without any BS. My children know about her, and they're happy that I have someone to share my feelings with. My elder one is moving out of high school this year, and soon the younger one would also move out for high school or college. I'm not emotionally dependent on Jay, but I think having someone, at least a friend to share your thoughts at this age, is precious. I had told Jay about Lucy's visit, and she reacted empathetically to the entire stuff. However, this didn't go well with Lucy. One day she saw me at Jay's shop and spied on me for the entire evening. I didn't notice it. With our body language, she understood that I was dating Jay. I think she followed us, and that's how she saw me visiting Jay's place in the evening and spending my nights there. One day, when I was leaving Jay's place, Lucy charged at me, saying, "Oh, is this the whore who is keeping you away from me?" I was shocked at her language. How could she say that? I tried to calm her down, but she crossed her limits, and I gave it back to her. She cheated on me twice, abandoned her children, and now has the audacity to pop up, asking me to take her back. While in my case, there's no cheating involved, yet she called me names and abused Jay. I told her never to show her face again. She was a selfish woman, and she has always thought only about herself. She left after that, but a few days later, Jay's shop was vandalized with a note. Leave him. It was a no-brainer to guess it was Lucy. There was no camera installed in her shop, yet I insisted Jay lodge a complaint against Lucy based on the last incident. She was reluctant to go into legal battles, but I didn't let it slide. I called Lucy and asked her to come home. I berated her in front of the children and threatened her with a police case if she ever troubled us, poor Jay. I didn't want to do this in front of the children, but she called the children to apparently expose me. Obviously, the children sided with me and unleashed their suppressed anger. She was the one who had ruined my kid's childhood, and now she was acting all victim and blaming me for our shambled marriage. It's been a month or so since all this. Lucy did not appear in our life again. The kids and I apologized to Jay for Lucy's tensions and helped her set up her shop back in shape. The kids insist that I marry Jay before they leave for college, but I don't want to be married again. Neither Jay wants. Though we love each other, I'm yet to say these words to her, I don't want to get into this marriage trap again. I don't think it's for me. I'm happy being father of 2 children and Jay's boyfriend. Wink. This is exactly why you don't enable the people who wrong you, because in some way, they twist things around and think they have a chance with you, which they shouldn't. She didn't deserve your time or energy in the first place. What do you make about be entertaining Lucy when she came crawling back? Thank you for joining us today on Our Space. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.